Hey, what's up? It's Wes here, aka Seahawks Prime. Welcome back to the Seahawks Times. Thank you for joining me. This is going to be the first edition of my full 7-round mock draft for the Seattle Seahawks. I've done tons of research, and I'm going to bring a really unique perspective to these drafts and pick some players that I'm really excited about. Not just middling players that fit the need, but not even just BPA, but just players that I really think can have a big impact for the Seattle Seahawks, and we can knock it out of the park like we did last draft and really get ourselves into Super Bowl contention with this talent. And at number 5, Jalen Carter is gone and Will Anderson is gone. And to the surprise of many, CJ Stroud was traded up for, and that has left us with the choice of Bryce Young or Will Levis. And to many people's dismay, I'm going to go with Will Levis here. I've been high on Will Levis for well into before last season with Kentucky, when he was beating and really competing with some of the best teams with maybe one kind of tier 3 NFL level receiver and a terrible O-line. Will Levis, to me, has the mentality, the tenacity to be a champion. Yes, he's a little bit older. Yes, this and that. You know, he has some turnovers here and there, but he is playing out of his mind in a division where the best talent that is going to be at the next level is. He can run with the ball. He's just got that magic factor to him, and I love Will Levis. And he's right there with CJ Stroud. So Stroud is gone. You know what? Whether or not I'm keeping Geno Smith, I'm going with Will Levis at 5. If you don't know Will Levis, he's got a crazy arm, really great intangibles. But I think more than anything, it's his heart and his passion for the game that's going to transfer to the next level and make him the best possible quarterback of the future, whether or not Geno Smith sticks around for a couple years. So I got Will Levis at 5 out of Kentucky. And then the next pick here, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate and controversy for this because Seattle even did this last season, and I'm going to do it again. At number 20 out of Texas, I'm taking Bijan Robinson. If Bijan Robinson falls to 20, I do not care if I have Barry Sanders, Walter Payton on my roster, Ken Walker the third on my roster. I'm taking Bijan Robinson, a premier running back, but a third receiving option. He is a dynamic player. He's like Adrian Peterson, Alvin Kamara mixed into one with his own thing, his own gear, his own level. And yes, I do want Rashard Penny back on the team next year. And yes, K9 is absolutely a marquee and has the potential to be one of the best running backs ever. But when I add Bijan Robinson into this mix, it takes so much pressure off of everything else. And we can afford to, have guy miss a game or two if we're 3 deep at that position with what I hope is DJ Dallas behind that. Bijan Robinson, a generational talent. If you have a chance to take that at number 20, you absolutely do it. Check the tape on Bijan Robinson. He's next level. He has Christopher Johnson level kind of breakaway speed, and he could really shift the dynamic of this in a division where we've got to compete against teams that have Christian McCaffrey and other options behind them. This is a really serious position and pick of value for me. At number 37, there's a lot of players I liked on the board here, but I decided to go with Kalijah Kancey out of Pittsburgh. Yes, he's undersized to the initial eye, when you see him, you're like, that's not a very big dude. No, he's not as big as Aaron Donald. He is out of the same university as Aaron Donald. He has the same kind of get off at the line of scrimmage. But what I love about Kalijah Kancey is he's a unique player. He's a different type of player. I do not see him getting pushed around in the NFL. The way that he is able to disengage from any sort of blocks or hand contact just makes him a menace. He's like a pit bull, a savage. You're not going to play him at nose or anything like that, but you just put him on the line, the defensive in the trenches, and he's just a menace. His statistics show it. He's played this against elite competition. Kalijah Kancey, he's not the Jalen Carter kind of size guy you're looking for, but he's getting to the quarterback from the inside and stopping the run, and that's something that we need, and I think it's great value at 37. At number 52, let's make this offense just absolutely insane, make it unstoppable so it doesn't really matter what's going on, as long as we can just, have players like this to take pressure off of Metcalf and Lockett, who are both wide receiver ones. Metcalf and Lockett are wide receiver ones. We don't have a 1 and a 2. We have 2 1s, but we need another 1, not another 2 or a 3. Derek Young can play the 2 or the 3. I think he's going to make the team and do that. But I have at number 52 huge value, and some would see this as a reach, Rashee Rice out of SMU. Rashee Rice to me has those kind of like those X factor type of catches like DeAndre Hopkins. I'm not saying he's as wide wiry and has as much core agility as DeAndre Hopkins, but I look at him as this year's DK Metcalf. Rashee Rice is that level of talent. He can get, all he does is score. All this guy wants to do is score and break big plays. He has the size, the speed, but he just has that insane kind of late twitch ability to get to the ball in space on intermediate routes, in traffic. He could be just a weapon. If we have a guy like that and those running backs there and just so much happening pre-snap, you're not going to know what to do. And yes, a guy like Will Levis will deliver the ball there. It'll make him just out of this world. So I have Rashee Rice really high. I know a lot of other guys have talked about Rashee Rice, but I'm going to talk about him too because he's really dope and a great player. At number 83, now, this player I kind of had, in the hundreds maybe 2 months ago, but after the Senior Bowl and after watching more tape on this kid, I just think he has the potential to grow into something special with the right coaching, and that's Keanu Benton out of Wisconsin. He's not as high of a motor guy as I would maybe like at this position, but what I love about Keanu Benton is he has the ability to become that guy. He has the work ethic, the intelligence, the size, the strength to be a dominant force in this defensive, whether we go to 3-4 or 4-3. Benton is going to do his best to stop the run and get pressure inside, and he can push guys around. He's a real absolute beast. Keanu Benton could be right behind Jalen Carter to me as the best interior rusher in this draft class. I have him over Mazi Smith. I have him over a lot of guys that might go ahead of him, and I'm really excited for that player, and I hope that Seattle takes him. We're going to stick in the trenches because, yes, we got to stop the run. Yes, we got to get some push on these quarterbacks, on interior push. And I'm going to go up another few spots than maybe this player's anticipated. This is Zach Pickens out of South Carolina at pick number 123. Zach Pickens, another really high talent upside guy, but I think he can play right away. He's played against those types of offensive lines that are really bruising and big in that conference. So Zach Pickens, I kind of attribute him to the type of player that you wanted, like a Monet to be, that you wanted kind of like the later career kind of vets that you've brought in, like Jefferson. He's what you want there with youth, size, speed, can get to the edge as well to help in the run. Zach Pickens is the menace. Check out his tape. Now, at number 153, we didn't get any of those edges early, and we've gone past a lot of guys. Will McDonald IV, we've gone past, obviously, Will Anderson. We've gone past that level, but there's a kid out in Florida, Brenton Cox Jr. This guy has that kind of twitch off the edge, explosiveness, Von Miller type of just straight, raw physical ability, and I think that in our system, he's the right kind of guy that Carroll likes, that Snyder likes, just an explosive athlete from the South that can just get pressure. He's what we had in Clowney, but maybe doesn't have as much raw strength at the point of attack at the LOS, but has, I think, better twitch ability to get outside and spin off of blocks and to get to QBs in space. That's Brenton Cox Jr. Big boy, he's 6'3", 6'4", and has all of the weight behind him, but he just has that kind of Von Miller build, and I like the upside there, especially if I can get him at 153. Remember, we got Woolen last year at 153 based on pure, physical attributes was what they were saying. He was a raw prospect, but to hit it out of the park again at edge here would be awesome. All right, now we got to get into the trenches because we got to protect Levis. We got to get running lanes going for K9, for Bijan Robinson, for Rashad Penny. I mean, think about how crazy that would be. But if Will Levis has time, he can find pockets and escape and run too. We're going to go to Emil Ikior Jr. out of Alabama, and that is an interior lineman who I think can really play inside, play guard for us and make Damian Lewis go to whatever position he needs. But I really like this player. I look at him blocking for Bryce Young in a lot of these games. Bryce Young did not have to run away all the time, and this guy can take up a couple people rushing at him. He's very aware of what's going on, so that sews up a guard position that I think is just as important as the center position for us as we shed Gabe Jackson's contract, and we need a versatile guard that's played against elite defensive linemen and edge rushers and linebackers, and that kid is it. He's a monster, and we're going to stay inside because we do need a center. This guy, I don't know why he's not being looked at as a higher prospect. Earlier on, I was thinking, we go early on Patterson, Whippler, that type of player. But I like Ricky Stromberg. That is out of Arkansas. Ricky Stromberg, a center, big corn husking, corn fed boy. This guy's an absolute monster. We'll get the push we need in the running game. And I think with the right guards around him, he's really smart and adept to pass blocking as well and can get there. I know that's not his strongest grade, but he's played in Arkansas. Once again, he has everybody coming up right at the middle at him in his conference throughout his career. He's got a gray head on his shoulders. That allows us to either maybe keep around a Blythe or something like that if we have to, but Stromberg to push him for the position. Awesome value at 198. There's the draft that I have there. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know if you have any questions about these players in this draft. It's not an in-depth technical analysis on each player, which I might get into if I have some time, but this is just one of many that I'm going to do. This is if there was a will, there's a way draft, and I think if we got these players on our roster and combined them with the talent we already had, we can address the other things in free agency, like linebacker. We can go and look at a free agent linebacker that we think we can pair with what we already have there in Jordan Brooks coming off of an injury. We're going to have to address that for sure, but in this situation, I would address that in free agency. But this is really, really a balanced kind of draft that I think gives us a lot of initial talent. I don't know if it hits as hard as last year because you just have no idea, but getting that level of talent, this is just the idea of what Seattle is going to be able to do in this offseason, which is going to be absolutely special in my opinion, putting us right up there, right behind the top talent in the NFC with a chance of excelling past them on these young contracts. You know what time it is. Wes here, aka Seahawks Prime. Thank you for staying in there. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're a Seahawks fan or just a fan of the NFL in general. Support your boy here. Let's get this up to 2K. Much love and peace.